I built a side hustle from scratch and scaled it to over $250,000 in revenue in 1 year while working full-time. Today, I'm going to break down exactly what the business is, how I did it, and what I'm gonna do to scale it to 7 figures. Back in 2024, I graduated from university and I landed a tech job at Dirty Rockefeller. While working there, I was researching for a side hustle that I could do to amplify my income. One day, my friend showed me his Stadium Goods dashboard, and he had done over $1 million in revenue. That's how I discovered this business model. Stadium Goods is kind of like Amazon FBA, but for sneakers. I send them my shoes, and they sell them for me, and they take a commission. The model is retail arbitrage, or what most people call reselling. I figured I could do this because I was heavily into reselling back in high school. Now that I was older and sharper, I figured I could do it at 100 times scale. My friend's dashboard showed me what was possible, so I went all in. I started with retail arbitrage. I would monitor Discord groups all day for new releases and restocks. One I remember well was the aluminum gum Sambas. I bought hundreds from Adidas.com for $100 each, and I flipped them for $30 to $40 profit per pair. At first, it was rough. I lived in Coney Island, Brooklyn, and Stadium Goods was in Soho, Manhattan, about an hour-long train ride. The store closed at 7 p.m. I got off work at 5, rushed home to pack the shoes, and carried IKEA bags full of sneakers on the train. The max I could carry was about 25 pairs. Eventually, I drove instead. It cut the trip down to 40 minutes, but it allowed me to bring more shoes. The one problem is that it was impossible to park in Manhattan. One time I double parked on Broadway, walked into the Soho store just to greet the staff, came outside, and a ticket was on my windshield. I kid you not, it was not even 2 minutes. It wouldn't make sense to park further either and then transport 50 pairs on foot. I've gotten so many parking tickets. Still, I kept grinding. Sales were rolling in all day and night without my involvement. Direct deposits to my checking accounts were hitting daily, and in my first 4 months, I did $75,000 in revenue. If you go back to my first YouTube videos, you can see it all. After, I was trying to figure out ways to scale. Eventually, I moved out to Bushwick, Brooklyn, which is way closer to Stadium Goods intake store. Now it's just a 20-minute train ride for me. I also started scheduling appointments. I could drop off shoes in bulk and not have to wait for them to get authenticated in real time. It saved me hours. But then releases slowed down. Inventory was hard to find. I was waking up every day checking restock monitors and finding nothing. That's when my friend introduced me to online arbitrage, flipping undervalued shoes from StockX or GOAT back to Stadium Goods. The model worked. However, New York sales tax was eating into my profits. That's when I realized it's time to take this venture seriously and open up an official business in New York State. I filed my articles of organizations, got approved, and obtained an EIN from the IRS. From there, I became sales tax exempt. Also, I've tried opening a business checking account and a business credit card from Chase. I got rejected. I had no idea what to do now. Why did they reject me? So one day, on my lunch break, I wore a shirt and tie, walked over to the Chase branch, and demanded a business card. It worked. I walked out with a Business Inc. Unlimited card. With the new funding and no sales tax, I went hard. Every night I was sourcing on StockX, manually checking every single sneaker. My expenses were racking up points, and I started learning about travel hacking. I used my points to book a 3-week trip to Japan for $150 using 120,000 points. I had the time of my life. Eventually, I unlocked Stadium Goods pickup service for New York City. For $35, they will come straight to my door. It was a game changer. But I wanted to scale again. I didn't want to be packing boxes anymore. So I delegated. I hire a logistics manager. All my inventory now gets shipped to him and he handles the pickups. By the end of 2024, I've done over $250,000 in revenue. I don't have a clue on the exact net profit. Stadium Goods doesn't make it easy to calculate either, and I didn't track perfectly, but I knew that I was in the green. In Q1 of 2025, I did $100,000 in revenue alone. I did a video on that too. Whatever I was doing, it was working. Today, I have a full-time sourcing virtual assistant. I've trained her using the same process I teach all my students. This business has taught me more than just how to make money. It taught me life lessons. Here are my 5 biggest lessons I've learned. Number 1, consistency is king. Some months were dry. I doubted the entire thing. But when I step back and look at the big picture, I was green almost every other month. The one thing I cannot do is give up. I only lose when I quit. That was something I kept telling myself. Number 2, systems over hustle. Systems replace willpower. They make success consistent and scalable. This business starts with delegation. I'm literally handing off my inventory to someone else to sell it for me. I kept building on that. Number 3 is leverage. I use credit leverage to scale. I try to never buy inventory out of pocket. I use a 0% APR card and I use other people's money smartly. Number 4 is delayed gratification. The day you plant the seeds is not the day you reap the rewards. It's specifically true in this business. The bids take time to hit. The shoes take time to ship. The sales take time to process. But if you stay patient, the flywheel kicks in. Make sure you plant the seeds and watch them grow. And number 5 is to concentrate your forces. I used to chase 5 business models all at once. I was sharing my car on Turo. I worked on a clothing brand. I gave dropshipping, crypto, and trading a try. I forgot that my real strength was in commerce. So I tripled down, and that's when everything changed for me. So what's next? How do I hit $1 million in this business? I think it's simple. What I need is more inventory. If I want to do $1 million in sales, I need close to $1 million in sneaker inventory. Recently, I got approved for a $42,000 0% APR card and I deployed it all on sneakers. I also made a video on that. The systems are there. I've set it up. The results are coming in. I just need to scale what's already working. Thanks for watching. If you want to work with me, the link is in the description or comments below. And if you don't want to buy anything from me, that's fine too. Stick around for the free stuff. I got you. There's 8 months left in 2025. Let's go crush it. I'll talk to y'all soon.